This episode was sponsored by BetterHelp.
Hey guys, welcome to Nerd Locker Podcast, your entertainment podcast for everything movies, television, video games, and more for kind of the last time.
Last time, right?
My name's Adam.
And I'm Oliver.
And guys, this is our final podcast in this format. We're not ending the podcast. We are just moving to a different format.
It's like a new season almost. Right?
Kind of not even a new season. It's kind of like a spin-off.
Oh.
In a way. Because we're still going to talk about some stuff, but we're not going to be focused on entertainment as much as we have been the past almost 2 years. No, over 2 years. And we're just not going to be like on it as much on like the new releases or the new things that are coming out. I think the only exceptions we've kind of like come to terms with this
probably
year,
like Daredevil.
No, I wouldn't even say that. I think our only ones that we're going to probably have to like cover and that will be like weekly again will be briefly for The Last of Us Season 2. And then The Boys.
And The Boys. Not Invincible, huh?
I don't think we're going to do Invincible.
No?
I think I'd rather batch Invincible. I don't think we're going to week.
Oh, okay,
Invincible.
gotcha.
Yeah. So when it comes to those things, guys, I don't know if The Boys is this year. I think it's Gen V this year. I don't know. I don't know if they're releasing both. But we'll definitely do The Boys. I don't think we'll do Gen V. We'll review it, but as a batch. But definitely The Last of Us will give our time and effort to that because they gave their time and effort to show us that. So like with those ones that take like years in between, I'm okay taking the time out to like see that through. Yeah. So guys, with that in mind, we have two things to go over. One we're going to go over pretty quickly because we've been talking about it and it kind of ended on a okay note. And then there's something bigger that I want to talk about. But first thing is Skeleton Crew. Right. The finale.
We got the most action we've ever gotten.
Most action. The most answers. But bro, what the fuck?
Yeah, and then it just kind of ends.
It ends. That's it. And also, did you notice? So what I noticed was this. Like, when we first opened the series, we had Wim talking about, like, oh, I have all these stories, and I talk about all this stuff, and blah, blah, blah. And then at the end of the series, we get, like, all those, like, the credits or a lot of that animation of, like, cartoons, and then it, like, went out to, like, the action figures. Was this whole fucking thing in his head?
Oh, you think?
Was this whole fucking thing?
Honestly, I'd be really disappointed. I don't think so.
I don't know. Let's see like where this blends into something else. If you guys heard something random, that was Oliver's random washing machine going off.
Is that what that is?
Yeah. Oops. So it's okay. He started wash before it started. Did you?
No.
Oh,
probably mom.
But so basically, guys, it kind of ends. I don't know if it's all in his head. I don't know how this affects the broader universe, but it was okay. It was
all right as a whole. I wouldn't really recommend it to people.
I wouldn't either. No, if you want like a one-off, yeah. But if you want something that's interconnected in any way, this felt super disjointed.
The best characters is Neil, the little elephant guy.
Yeah.
And then John. And SM33, yeah. And that was kind of it. The rest are just really annoying. I can live without.
Yeah, I don't need to see any of the other ones again. Overall give this series like a 6.
I was going to go like 4.
I'm going to give it a 6 just because we did get some cool action. We still got Jude Law, and we still got some things that we still wanted. Like, we still got, like, him with the lightsaber, him with this.
Yeah.
He's a Force user. And it was linked to Order 66, guys, in a different way. It was someone that got away from Order 66 that trained him. We don't really know who it is.
We don't know who it is.
Who did you say you thought it was?
Shock T is, like, an option. I don't remember her dying in Order 66.
Sorry, I was turning back and forth on this. Sorry, guys.
Who?
I was, like, moving back and forth for a while.
Oh. And then, I know Ayla Secure is dead. It can't be Ahsoka.
No.
You had a suggestion of the female Yoda.
Yeah, Yaddle.
Yaddle. So yeah. I don't think so. Shakti's probably the only, unless they just bring in somebody new.
They're not gonna bring in anyone because they're not gonna do season 2. This is probably gonna go.
No, I mean like reference like.
Oh yeah.
Like for like if he shows up in Mandalorian or something.
I don't know. This is gonna go anywhere. This was the lowest rated series for Star Wars so far.
Is it lower than
Andor or Bad Batch?
No, what was that one with the Chinese guy or the Asian guy?
The Acolyte?
Yes, was it lower than that?
Yeah.
Wow. So we're just going downhill.
Yeah.
Disney has ruined Star Wars for so many reasons.
Yeah, Star Wars is going downhill.
So far, the only thing good from Star Wars we have is Mandalorian.
Yeah.
And then the video games, and that's kind of it.
Rogue One.
Yeah, Rogue One was really good. That's true.
Yeah.
That's kind of it then.
It has been
They're doing
downhill.
great. Good job.
And
Disney.
we're
Keep it
getting
up.
Andor season 2 this year. I think in April. So I didn't watch season 1. I'll probably watch season 1 before I watch season 2. I just never watched it.
It's not bad.
We never reviewed it, guys. We might give our
Andy
opinions.
Serkis is in it.
Still doesn't appeal to me.
Just don't watch it.
But anyways, we will definitely go over any new Star Wars stuff when it comes to the movie coming out soon, and then if we get Ahsoka season 2 anytime soon. Anything that we reviewed, if it gets another season, we'll talk about it in the future. Anything new is going to be case by case. But so now that we've finally got done with
wait, what do you rate the whole thing?
That's what.
Yeah, wait, you said 6.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Okay, what do you want to talk about?
So before we get into the big thing I want to talk about, here is a word from our sponsor.
And thank you to BetterHelp for sponsoring this video. With BetterHelp, you could tap into a network of 30,000 licensed and experienced therapists who, can help you with a wide range of issues. And when you start out, you answer a few questions, and any preferences you have for therapy, whether it be for a certain thing you want to try to get over, whether it be maybe too sporadic, anxiety, paranoia, whatever it is that you guys are going through, you can find the right therapist for you by just answering a couple of simple questions. And you can also talk to the therapist that fits mostly for you. If you find out you're not a fit with this therapist, or it's someone that you don't really want to talk to, or just maybe doesn't get you, you're able to change any time, any place, completely for free, which is, I think, in my case, a really cool thing. As well as you can get via text with your therapist, you can do video call, you can do just phone call. So it's whatever you really feel, and you could change it up every single week. If you want to tell your therapist, hey, I don't think I have time to take a video call, can I just take a phone call on the drive back from work? You can just talk to your therapist whenever you need to unwind and make those schedules for yourself. So it's really cool.
Exactly what Adam said. You can message your therapist at any time and schedule live sessions when it's convenient for you. If your therapist isn't right fit for any reason, you can switch it to a new therapist that is a more accustomed to your liking for no additional charge. With BetterHelp, you can get the same professionalism and quality you expect in an in-office therapy session, more scheduling flexibility, and at a more affordable price. Get 10% off of your first month at BetterHelp.com/NerdLocker. Again, that's 10% off BetterHelp.com/NerdLocker, and we will have the link down below in the description.
Remember, guys, mental health is just as important as your physical health. Keep yourselves in check.
And we're back, guys. Okay, so there's one thing that we definitely reviewed in the past that I want to bring up again, because this is something that we will always make time for, I think, going forward, because I wanted to have Oliver watch this with me. It just didn't work out with time of... It was only released over 3 days at a specific showing that would kill both of us with time and everything. So a new movie came out called Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare, which is the third movie in the TCU, the Twisted Childhood universe, which we reviewed Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 2.
Right.
So this movie, so you have not seen it, so I'm going to spoil it for you as well as other people here.
Okay, that's fine.
For the most part.
I'm ready.
So it opens up with Peter finding this child, which you see in the trailer, that child with the curly hair. That's literally how it opens up. And he opens up the floor after they get home, and it's very much Evil Dead, Pennywise, oh, what's your name? I'm Peter. Come shake my hand. And then he tries to pull him in, to which the mom hears this, comes in, stops it from happening. Like I said, this is one of the most realistic horror movies that I've seen in a while. So she stops this from happening, gets the kid away, gets them far, far away enough, and then grabs a knife, gives the kid the phone, says, use the phone to get away. I'm going to go take care of him. She goes in, and she does, he looked normal. He had a regular face. The thing that you see in the trailer of all the scars and shit is from this first fight.
Oh,
so she started fucking up his face with, different glass bottles and stuff, stabbing him in the face, getting it all bloody and stuff. So he doesn't get out of this unscathed.
Oh.
And then he ends up, malleting her, and then gets her, on her stomach on the table, and then cuts her head, and then literally just rips off and scalps her.
Jeez.
And then goes off and takes this kid to Neverland, and then we open up. It's literally the opening. So now we jump 15 years later. So this kid has been gone, and nothing really has been happening. We get with Wendy Darling, John Darling, and Michael Darling, all with their mom, which is the therapist from Winnie the Pooh 2. And it's Michael's birthday, the youngest. So John goes off to school. Wendy's about to go off, and she's kind of dating this person that she's about to leave out for London for, and her mom's against it, saying she should go to school. So it's very much an older Wendy. And then Michael goes off to go away and like drive off, but he like put on a birthday boy pin. And then she's like, oh crap, like it's his birthday, I forgot. So she goes and like gives him a ride and everything. And he goes to his school and he meets up with his friend. And then while he's at school, another kid like puts a post-it note on him that says the F word. And so his friend comes up and says, oh, real funny, like your hair's all like not even good or whatever, blah, blah, and, like gets him away, then sits down and holds hands with Michael. So now we know Michael is gay in this iteration of this story, at like a younger age, like knowing of his sexuality. So you now find out that Peter has been targeting specifically kids that don't feel like they can belong, basically either gay or maybe possibly transgender, are like born as something but feel as something else. So he's definitely been prying on that weakness, and that's how he gets these lost boys to Neverland. And it opens up with him talking to a boy in a storybook that talks about the story of Peter Pan, but then it gets a little darker, saying that the shadow is the thing that basically says, give me sacrifices to get them to Neverland, and you'll eventually get to Neverland. So this Peter Pan has been growing older and older, thinking that eventually he's going to earn his own way into Neverland, because he has definitely, he said, been and seen it before. So it's like, this is where I say we don't know where this realism comes from, because in Winnie the Pooh, it was definitely Winnie the Pooh existed. And this one, it kind of seems like if there was a Peter Pan and that story existed, he definitely was supposed to take souls and didn't do his job right, and then was sent back and has been growing older ever since. Doesn't mean there's not necessarily Neverland, but in this whole movie, you never see Neverland.
Wow.
It doesn't exist as far as I know. They openly said that they will make a sequel, which will show you there is a Neverland, but it may not be what you think it is, because it was part of drug and
like it might be like a Shutter Island type situation.
Kind of.
almost.
I think there's definitely a place, because Pooh has to come from somewhere, like his other reality, but I don't think it's as nice as we think, or as nice as even Peter remembers it to be. So anyways, so while this is all going on, he takes Michael after school because she's talking to her friend or whatever. So takes Michael. Her mom ends up like disowning her because she thinks he's dead, because they know about Peter Pan and his abductions. They've heard about it 15 years prior with that last kid. So they're like, well, what's going to happen? Blah, blah, blah. And then like you see in the trailer, he goes to that bus full of kids. And he slaughters all of them.
Yeah.
So because that's his way of taking them to Neverland. It's killing them. Like they go to, quote unquote, like they die, they go off, kind of thing. So then he leaves all of their bodies literally in a field, and it goes on the news, to which like it makes John break down, because he thinks like, oh, my brother's dead because they found all the other kids, like he's got to be dead, blah, blah, blah. And then while Peter has Michael, he finds Michael's picture of him and his boyfriend and says, oh, you want me to bring him? And it was like, he never said if, he kept saying when I bring him, like I'm gonna go get him. So now you find out that Wendy's friend is sisters to the boyfriend. Okay. So like her best friend is also like, so it's like, anyways, she goes over to her house after her mom disowns her, and then Peter shows up and literally in her sleep kills her friend, who said, I'll take the sofa, you take my room, which would have been Wendy instead. So she gets killed, kills the father, like slits his throat and then stabs him to death, had bound the mom. Wendy gets out and away, gets the mom. The mom's like, help me, help me. Peter comes over and puts a fucking thing over her head and tapes it up and just lets her suffocate to death before stabbing her a bunch of times. Dude, it's fucking nuts. And then so like Wendy's like, I'm going to get in the car and follow you because you took the kid. And now she follows him, gets to the place where it's at. You also have Tinkerbell, who's fucking doing some kind of meth or heroin, but it's labeled pixie dust. So, and then you find out, so the first person
is she like a normal person?
Yes. So that's the thing. Like, so the thing is, when you first meet, or when she goes, she's like, I got to go find someone in Ashwood who this happened to. So she goes and meets up with his father, who said that my son was the first one he took. So they talk about his son, and you see his son like has bows in his hair, has like painted fingernails, and then they go into his room and you see like dresses and everything. He's like, he always said he was a little girl, and sometimes I wish like I haven't moved any of his stuff because I feel like one day he's gonna walk through the door, and it's been like 40 plus years. So anyways, you're watching this whole movie, and then you start to realize, wait a minute, Tinkerbell is a guy with long hair. Wait a minute. And then you realize, oh fuck, this is the original kid. This is Timmy. He took Timmy and gave Timmy drugs, and for the last 40 plus years, Timmy has been high on drugs and thinks he is Tinkerbell or a fairy, and he will eventually go off to Neverland.
That's wild.
It's so fucked up, dude. It's
That's
so fucked
so
up.
crazy.
Because like at the end of it, she realizes because she sees the nails, and she's like, Timmy, and he's like, what? And apparently Peter told him his whole life, your family doesn't give a shit about you, and the whole time his dad was looking for him, and still waits for him to this day. So he ends up turning on Peter. Peter does not like that. Ends up throwing him on the fucking table after they fight. Breaks both of his arms back and like fucking chops them and rips them off. So now fucking Tinkerbell's got no fucking arms. Dude, and then Wendy starts fighting him. He ends up like beating on her. This guy got kicked in the face so many fucking times, Peter Pan. Like every time he grabs someone by the feet, they literally went pa, and he just got knocked back. And I'm like, bro,
like,
you
I'm
need
fine,
to see
I'm
this
fine.
coming. You need to see it coming by this point. So, anyways, like all this stuff, and then Wendy like tries to like get his eyes out of her. He ends up biting and pulling off 2 of her fingers. Like I said, she didn't get out of here unscathed. She's like 2 fucking fingers, and she takes duct tape and like duct tape
Damn,
it up
dude.
and everything. Dude, she's the best final girl. She's like fucking going for it. And she's like, I don't care if I die. I'm gonna take you down fucking with me. So she is just fighting for her life. All this stuff, blah blah blah, and like it gets so fucking crazy. They start stabbing him, blah blah, like knocking him out, bashing his head and everything, like all this stuff. And then like when she gets down to the basement, because he takes the boyfriend, like the young kid, and they can't find him. She finds him down there inside of a coffin that says R.I.P. with a lantern on it. So what he was doing was putting the kids in there and suffocating them. But when she's down there, she's like, she hears something. And prior, halfway through the movie, you heard a rustling from downstairs in the basement, and you see Peter go downstairs, and like you just see the silhouette with his belt, and he's like, I told you not to fucking talk. Bah, it hits this thing. You don't know what it is. So anyways, you see it in the trailer when she's like in the darkness and that thing pops out of nowhere and goes,
Yeah.
yeah, that's her looking for whatever the noise is, and the thing goes and scares her. She looks at it, and it has like stringy hair, very white, all that stuff, and it has a fucking hook in its hand.
Oh,
Dude, it's the kid from the beginning of the movie.
that's
15 years later.
crazy.
So that first little kid, that's fucking Captain Hook. He takes and makes him into that. So now he's just this like fucking Gollum looking thing that like doesn't make noise, but knows like, I just want to go home. So like at the end of it, when he finally gets almost defeated and about to get them, then all of a sudden you see behind him fucking Hook comes and gets him and fucking pulls him and starts, God, you mother, like, because it's like for 15 years you kept me captive.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, and that's how he gets fucking killed. Blah blah blah. So everything's all fine. The end ends up happening, and like like the 2 kids get away. Everything seems all fine and dandy, and then she gets the fucking phone call like she did earlier, where she hears the same fucking record that was going before, where he was like, "I'm taking them to Neverland," which means he's not fucking dead in some way, or maybe it could be the Shadow got out of Neverland. Now the Shadow's coming for her.
Yeah.
It might not be exactly Peter Pan, because he hasn't been confirmed to show up in the Poonaverse movie. So I'm assuming it's his shadow, not him. Which means it could still be the same actor, but probably like different makeup. It doesn't have to have that same like that.
Right.
Like, they can get rid of that character, because he definitely seemed like the only thing that happened was at one point he's talking to the shadow on the wall and then levitates.
Oh,
But
right.
then
We
when
saw that in the
door
trailer, yeah.
opens from Tinkerbell and she's like, "What are you doing?" He's on the ground again. So it's like, was that in his head because of drugs, or was he really levitating and then went down? Like they don't answer
Was
that.
he high?
But yeah, but that's the thing. Like, that's what I like about the movie. They don't answer this for you, because it could be a standalone movie. Like, it really does not have to go anywhere else. And even with that ending, like, it doesn't have to go anywhere. But we know this is all leading up to more. And the next movie in the series is Bambi. Now, the difference is, director did say Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 2, and this movie are happening at the same exact time.
This one, the
Yes.
Peter Pan one. Okay.
Because the therapist, who is her mom, who is Christopher Robin's therapist, plus the girls that go out camping that get domed by Winnie the Pooh are at the barbershop with her, say, "Hey, you want to go out camping with us?" And she says no. I think she said no. There was a lot of chances she could have died in this whole movie.
Yeah.
Whether it be somewhere else or like even on that sofa. Like, so she keeps getting away from death. So the next movie is Bambi the Reckoning, which will also be taking place at the same time. But the next one after that, Pinocchio, will be a little bit later in the timeline, which will be the Pinocchio Unstrung. And then I think after that, I think that's when we get the Poonaverse. I think that's when we get the first crossover film. I think it's then, or I think there might be one more after that. But I think it's only 2 more than the
And so when does
crossover.
Bambi come out?
Sometime, no release date for Bambi or Pinocchio, just confirmed 2025. Just like this one didn't really have a release date. It kind of just
Popped up.
randomly popped up for 3 days. I wouldn't be surprised. Like, I would see Bambi coming out in April, and I could see Pinocchio summer, and then Monster, like
The end,
the
at the end
crossover
of
at
the
the end of the year. Yeah, like for Halloween. You know,
Damn, dude,
because
they're
I
pumping
know
these
that.
out.
Well, that's been his target, is Halloween 2025. He says he's just not sure. He said if it doesn't come out Halloween 2025, for sure the first half of 2026.
Okay.
for the crossover. He's like, no
Cool.
matter what, he's like,
Exciting.
he's pumping these out. He's
Yeah, he
getting them
really
out
is.
really quick, dude.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That's wild.
You would think with all the effects and everything, but like, dude, like, and then he has guys. He has ideas for like Snow White, Sleeping Beauty, Alice in Wonderland, another Winnie the Pooh, another Peter Pan, and then Teletubbies, Powerpuff Girls. Fucking, he's gonna
Wild.
attack everything, dude. It's gonna be great. I really am happy with this, and I hope one day you do get to see it, guys. If we get to see it together, we'll talk more about it. If another one hasn't come out, to see where we're at. If we have any new trailers for anything else, because I think we should be getting the Pinocchio trailer sooner than later because this
Okay.
is just released. So we should be getting that soon.
It's not on YouTube or anything?
No, but I do know that the whole Pinocchio movie is no CGI, all practical.
Oh, shit.
Even the puppet,
That's cool.
animatronic.
Damn, dude.
Where's the budget?
I don't know.
How do you have
Where-
no budget?
Is
if
it?
you're doing
Are
this?
they on Kickstarter or something?
I don't know, dude. I think it's just that first movie because 3% rating on that first Winnie the Pooh movie.
Yeah, right.
We have a full fucking franchise.
Right.
They got 3% and then 10 times their budget for the
There
sequel.
must have been a goal for Kickstarter or something like that.
Something for Kickstarter, cult classic. You get different funding. Like you pitch something, like you make a movie, you pitch at different studios, and then I think as soon as they hit Amazon, I think it's when it blew up. I think as soon as everyone was able to watch the movie and didn't have to go specifically to the theater on a certain day to
Right.
see it, it got to a broader audience. And I think that's when we're like, oh, we want a sequel. So it was like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, the studios were like, greenlight it. Because I don't know what studio even releases these because it's a British franchise.
BBC.
So no, it's not BBC. I don't like. I'm gonna quickly look it up. But like, if you had to pick a public domain property that you'd want to see them do that they haven't already announced, is there another one that you've thought? I have one in my mind. I'm gonna wait on it though.
I don't know. That's so tough. You really put me on the fucking spot here. I think we've talked about this briefly, but like a scarier version of like Monsters Inc. I think would be kind of fun.
I would say Frozen. I would want a
Frozen?
Snow Queen
Oh, that'd be pretty cool.
or Three Little Pigs.
That would be pretty cool. Yeah, that's a good one.
it
Red
kinda-
Riding Hood would be fun.
Yeah, it kind of seems Altitude Film Distribution is the thing for it, and it is UK based. And I'm trying to see if there's anything they've done that we would know. Moonlight.
Oh, wow.
They do a lot more home video releases. It seems, but like, yeah, I mean, okay. So for example, the first Blood and Honey was a budget of $100,000,
Jesus.
and they made $7.7 million.
That's insane.
The second movie was $500,000, and they made $7.6 million.
What the heck?
Yeah.
Holy fuck.
And then Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare. So far, we don't know yet. So far, the budget is about $250,000, which is not bad.
Mm-mm.
Pan's Neverland Nightmare. Let's see if they have box office.
I think the movie's still going on right now.
I mean, it is. Doesn't mean they can't know. Box Office Mojo. Yep. Nope. Still not there yet. Okay. So we'll
guess
find
I
out
won't
how much
be.
this one made on a $250,000 budget, and this
$100K is insane.
$100,000.
Yeah, to make and then making.
Well, that's
that
a lot of the
much.
distribution rights. That's not the making of the film. The film, I'm
Mhm.
pretty sure, was quoted. I think he said like half of it was like the actual stuff he had to pay for everything.
Oh, okay.
That was location, cars, gore, costumes, people, like 50 grand, food,
That's still pretty good.
lights, camera, all that stuff, like 50 grand, and then an extra 50 grand to like find the right distributor, get it to the different production companies, edit, do all that stuff, like sound design, ADR, all that extra stuff that you have to do. Because like when you're in a recording studio, just like for example, so if anyone else that doesn't really know, like if we're doing like a podcast audio episode,
Right.
and like I'm saying like, all right, that was a good take, let's do another, let's do another, let's do another, let's do another. You're constantly paying
Mm-hmm.
for the money,
Yeah.
like for the time. Like every single minute is another dollar going. Like that's how that works. So like that is where budgets start to increase way more than what you probably estimated to start with. So like even though maybe they wanted 50,000, now you're getting like $10,000 more of ADR because you didn't get the
right.
right like blood squelching or like things like that, or things got corrupted, or blah, blah, anything that has to go into that you're using other parties for, because it was independently released, but it wasn't independently produced. Like, it was made into a film to give out by a team, but then I gave that to you, and now it's just on you to find someone to release
it. Got it. Yeah. That
but then
sense.
you didn't, so you independently released it by buying into theaters, like paying theaters, which also increases your budget up to that 100,000 mark, because now you're distributing it to the theaters, hoping it bites. And in their case, it didn't. But then it was also pitched to Prime, who Prime is a whore for anything film and video these days. They're like, yeah, sure, we'll scoop that up and see what happens. And then bada bing, bada boom, it's free. Everyone does it. So, yeah.
Damn, dude.
But honestly, I will say this. I don't remember what I rated Winnie the Pooh. I rate this movie, and I do want to see it again one day, if not a couple more times. 8.5.
8.5?
For a B horror movie?
Yeah, that's pretty high.
8.5. Like, it's almost, if not like just as much as I love the Terrifier series, dude, this is like...
It's up there?
Really good. Like, I kind of wish I didn't know about Winnie the Pooh. I think this would have been a much better movie. It was just like straight out the gate, here's a Peter Pan movie. You don't know what you're going to see. Yeah, it was just like... Because it's just, again, the writing is so well done. Whether or not, like, you think, like, the makeup was good, or, like, they definitely didn't have a lot of locations. You could tell that their vice was location. I'm pretty sure they used the same school for the abandoned school he was at, and then the school that they abducted him from, I think was the same location, just different sides of the school. And I think, like, they used one, maybe two of the same houses for their homes multiple times, decorated different ways. So location, I think, was probably why it's a $250,000 budget.
Yeah.
Location. But gore and acting, they spent a lot. Makeup, they spent a lot. I don't know if costume they did, but it kind of seems like they did, at least for like Peter. So, because he definitely goes through like multiple costume changes. Oh, one more thing, guys. Biggest thing about that movie. So I was with a couple in the front, right?
Yeah.
And again, lost boy, doesn't want to be a kid, blah, blah, blah. So he goes and he's like getting off his bloody clothes. He pulls down his pants, you see his butt, right?
Okay.
So everyone's like, okay, whatever. And then like goes to the POV of like Wendy with like over the shoulder of his like silhouette of his thigh. And he turns around, so you think, oh shit, they're about to show his dick. Dude, since doesn't want to be anything but a boy, he cut it all off.
Oh.
It's just like stitched like a scar right here, like a Ken doll, but it's massacred. It's disgusting down there, but like he cut it all off. And they just linger on that for a while, bro. And then he like gets on his pants and stuff. But yeah.
What?
Dude, again, crazy writing. Like, I'm not saying it's not clever. Like, that is an extreme, but it makes fucking sense. Yeah.
What? I didn't even know that.
You would have seen it. At least now you could be prepared. That guy in the front went, oh, fuck me. And said, I ain't signed up for no Pain Olympics. I'm like, all right. So anyways, guys, that's my rant on that. That was a longer one, but I wanted to leave you guys off with a long one in this format. We're going to go to an even longer format going forward, but we'll have a lot more fun going into these different topics. And next time we see you'll be back from Jamaica with hopefully some video and some great stories.
Hopefully, yeah. We'll see what happens.
No Uber stories this time. No Uber Blacks.
What?
Or Uber execs, whatever it was.
We're already getting problems with transportation, so we'll see what happens.
We'll see where it goes. All right, where can they find you
You can
until
find
then?
me on the Sphere 21 on any social media platform except for TikTok, which, by the way, gets banned on January 19th, apparently.
4 days.
4 days. But you can still find me there with all of our content.
Unless Mr. Beast buys it.
Unless Mr.
Other than that, you can find me at Amori Photography. You can find this studio, Archangel Studios Official, wherever you find all that stuff. And this podcast will remain Nerd Locker Podcast, even going forward.
Oh, yeah.
But you can find it on this YouTube channel, and we will see you guys in like
a week
or maybe 2. We'll see, with our brand new format. So we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Peace.